Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk about movies, TV, geek stuff, news, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker! With Nary Signs, you know the question is not on here that I could have said yes to would have been a cock ring. I'm like, oh, I've done that. Jeff,
It was called Bibbidi Bobbidi Doorknob.
Stephanie.
The only reason he was invited was because he was dating my friend. It was like a pity invite. And he was like one of the first people to get there. What a loser.
And we have Missy
Yes, I'm here.
is also here.
Missy is also here. A girl has no last name.
Not anymore, am I right? Huh? And special correspondence with Steph Mayer Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look cute for you.
Oh, no. And this is the What's Up Bro podcast.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
Because mine don't reach out.
Welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast. Wow, we almost had a technical failure immediately while pressing record. All right, thank you guys for checking us out. This is the annual. I think this is the 7th or 8th annual.
I think it's
Anal.
8.
8?
Because I feel like last year was 7.
Yeah, so 8th annual. We're going to say 8th. Fuck it. Even if it's not. I'm pretty sure it is 8th. So we're going to go with the 8th annual top 10 movies of the year episode. This is usually split up into 2 episodes because we love movies and we talk a lot of shit about movies. So welcome. I am Nary Science. With me as usual, Stephanie.
Hello.
And Missy.
Hi.
And we have Jeff today.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Hi.
Hey, all right.
Super.
All right, right on, man. We have the whole group
It's
back
the
together.
morning.
I know. We're recording in the morning on a Sunday morning, which we've never done.
It's the Lord's Day.
It's the Lord's Day
It is the
to watch movies and talk about movies. All right. So,
And football.
how did you guys feel about the year in general as far as movies are concerned for 2019? How did you guys feel? Missy?
I feel really good, and I know that it was a good year because all of the movies that you guys have been telling me to watch in the past few weeks that I didn't watch.
Who's you guys specifically?
Jeff.
Yeah,
Jeff
right,
did it.
Yeah. Try to generalize that statement because I was like, I don't believe I've told you to watch any fucking movie in the past.
Well, 2 popes, but then I vetoed that. Anyway,
I didn't tell you to watch it. I said I want to watch it.
right. And then I
The
said,
difference between saying, Missy, watch this. Bro, you gotta watch this. You gotta, trust me, bro, you gotta watch this. Who am I right now, Missy? You gotta watch this. Missy, who am I? But you got, bro, I'm telling you.
what? You're calling me. I gotta take this.
I get it. It's me.
Do you? Do you?
Sorry
It's
that I want to
me.
share quality films with
Spoiler alert, it's on my list. We know, Jeff.
And not
You've
to drag-
talked about it a million times.
Sorry
We
I didn't
get
drag
that.
you to go see Charlie's Angels.
Hey.
Okay?
Or
Hey.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hey, don't be smirch Charlie's Angel. They do a fine job of besmirching their own fucking name on their own.
So anyway, back to answering the question. My top 10 hasn't changed in like a few months, and I think that really says a lot about the quality of movies that we've had this year. Of course, with the exception of Cats, but I feel like I did a count. I've watched about maybe 25-30 movies this year, and I'm really they were just all really good movies with exception of a few, but that's normal.
Now I want to take account of how many movies I've seen this year.
I saw 36 this year.
Yeah,
She beat me by 6.
by a lot. I haven't done it. I didn't do a count. Stephanie, how do you feel about the movies this year?
I think that it was
Or
a good movie.
2019, I
I
should
think
say.
it was a good movie year. There was a lot of stuff. There's some stuff that's been on my list since I saw it like in the spring or in the summer, and it hasn't moved. And yeah, I mean, I saw more documentaries this year, which was my goal. I wanted to see more things, but Jeff and I were mentioning earlier, a lot of what we ended up seeing ended up being like either limited series or stuff, so they don't count for this. But
docuseries don't count. Yeah.
But yeah, I still saw like actual documentaries like more than I did last year too, which was on my goal.
I didn't find the documentaries this year to be like actual documentary movies. I didn't find them to be as good as previous years, to be honest with you. I watched a couple this year and I'm like, it's not as great as
I have 2 on my list, and they were the
That's weird. Don't you normally just go for one of each
I do,
category?
but I did not do that this year because my friends yelled at me last year.
I didn't yell at you. I just thought it was
There's a lot of
ridiculous.
accusations of yelling here, and we just project our voices passionately.
I don't like the accusation of being her friend.
Okay, somebody's gonna get that one.
You dick. Fuck
like-
you.
Checkmate, bitch.
Jeff, what did you feel about the movies last year?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, hey man, everybody has their own feelings.
No, I did enjoy the movies a lot. My list this year has a lot less geek movies than in past years.
So no superhero movies. Got it.
No, I didn't say that. But there's a lot more. I don't know if it's me getting older or what, but there was a lot more serious drama and things like that I kind of leaned more towards and actually enjoyed. Like there's one on my list that I couldn't tell you really why I loved it, but I really enjoyed the movie.
I think it's the furious masturbation part.
Oh, that's it. No, let's not talk about that movie ever the fuck again. Don't go see The Lighthouse.
Wait, you're getting ahead of me. Hold on. So, I found this 2019 to kind of be. I think that it did definitely have great movies. However, I don't feel as a whole that the year had as many great movies as years past. I've had my list has been. I write whenever I see a movie that I think is going to be in my top 10 or I feel is going to be my top 10. I write that down. I don't write down every movie I've seen and then organize later. I start my list, and I think it was September. As of September, I had 7 movies on my list. Like I didn't even have a top 10 as of September, and now I went through this. You know, we all went through this. Like, all right, watch as many movies in the last last minute exam, studying.
Yeah, like we always do.
Yeah. Like the paper's due tomorrow. All right, now I'm gonna start. Like that's how I felt about the movie. So like in the last month, I've been watching as many movies as humanly possible.
Right.
And so obviously my top 10 is filled out, and obviously there's more than I've had more than 10 movies. But in the years past, my top 10 was filled out at least like in before the summer, and then I added more and more and more. I feel like there were really great movies this year, but there weren't as many great movies as years past. With that said, I'm kind of disappointed in the documentary specifically, and I will say a pleasant surprise for me were a lot of movies were not theatrical releases in the sense of
They were just for streaming?
No, there were streaming studio movies. So Amazon movies. I didn't know this. Amazon movies actually came out in theaters. I did not know that.
Some of them do. And they're very limited release, I feel
very limited. And
because I feel like a couple of years ago when there was The Big Sick, it was an Amazon studio, but it was limited release. Like it wasn't a huge sixth or whatever.
So then I this year have more. I think in the previous years that I can remember off the top of my head, I think I had one movie that was made by a streaming service. I think it was Home, and it was Amazon. Is that Amazon? Was that Amazon or Hulu?
Home?
Or Netflix? Netflix. It was Netflix.
Home was
Netflix. Yeah. So other than that, I don't remember years prior having more than that on my list.
No,
and
but
this year is a lot of movies.
Because like the Oscar nominations, just to like throw out an example, Netflix has the most nominations out of any movie studio.
Yeah.
So times are changing. Nobody wants to leave their house.
Take that, fucking Steven Spielberg.
There are some good,
Yeah, it's exactly what I said. When they released that, I thought to myself, I was like, oh, fuck you, Spielberg.
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
are some good. Like, there's one honorable mention. I don't know if we're gonna get to honorable mentions, but there's one I have that is in Netflix. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that saw it here. But it was actually really good. Like, it could have been a top 10.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, I have numerous movies that were by streaming studios.
Yeah,
numerous.
So I have a question. I probably should have asked before. How many honorable mentions are we allowed?
I don't know, 3, 4.
I have 5.
don't know. Yeah, I guess
5 is the most.
I would say so, because once you start making more honorable mentions than the actual, like, you know, if you have 10 honorable mentions, and it's a ridiculous list at that point.
Got it.
So I will ask the following question before we get to our list. What is the worst movie you saw this year?
Cats. 100%.
You saw Cats? All right, so you saw it. I didn't see it.
Don't do it.
I
saw it just because I wanted to see how
you
bad
saw
it was.
No, but you also have to be, you being a theater geek,
Correct.
you actually have to see the movie.
Correct. And
it's like a superhero movie. I have to watch it. Even though I don't want to, I fucking have to, because then they stop making superhero movies, and I feel like it's my fault for not supporting the
Exactly. And then Missy joined me on that adventure along with Ish from the Pero Let Me Tell You podcast. We went together and we had a great time, but we laughed at it it together, and we were like,
I had a drink before.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we drank. But
at some point there was like the row behind us was like all first date middle schoolers in the back, and one kid like halfway through exasperated. He goes, "When the fuck is this movie over?" and I was like, and I guess one of the kids didn't know it was a musical, and he was like, "Are they gonna fucking sing the whole time?"
But is it a musical in the vein of, I don't know,
there's no spoken word, if that's what you're gonna ask me.
Right,
Like, it's just continuous song.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is like because there's Les Mis music,
is continuous
and then
song.
there's every other musical on earth.
Right. Right.
Every other.
No, there's a couple
Singing in the
that-
Rain. It's a musical, but it's not like
Right.
there's.
That's a subgenre of musical called operetta, which is where it's continuous songs. So like Les Mis, Phantom, Cats. There's a few of them that are like continuous.
Did
like
you just
that.
name
Hamilton
all of them?
is like
Did you
that.
just name all of them?
Hamilton is
I'm talking about
continuous.
movies.
No,
Musical movies
that are continuous. like
Yes,
that?
it's
Maybe.
Les Mis
It
and
may be.
Cats and Phantom. I'm assuming because I haven't seen Phantom the movie.
Yeah, Phantom movie came out like 10 years ago, but yeah,
Way more than 10 years.
Yeah.
Way more than 10. It was when I was a kid. It was a thing when I was a kid.
there's no way because Emmy Rossum was in it, and she's like our age.
I don't know who that is. So
The girl from Shameless.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, well,
Has she been in anything
and
I've seen?
Gerard Butler's in it. He's the Phantom. There's no way that came out.
Gerard Butler's like 50 years old. You are aware of
Right,
this,
but there's
right?
no way that came out when you were a kid. We were like maybe like late teens.
If only we had a supercomputer in the
I
palm
know.
of our
So I'm
hands.
googling right now. I did a Google. It was a very good search. It said musical movies that's with singing the whole time.
I put Phantom Menace.
That came out when we were kids.
And I didn't pull up a list, but I'm going through like the top 40.
2004?
Hairspray. Does Hairspray have talking?
Yes, it does.
Cinderella does.
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. Neil Sweeney Todd is continuous.
Once.
Once, no, it's talking.
Chicago has dialogue.
Yeah.
Moulin Rouge has dialogue. Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
No, it has dialogue.
Grease has dialogue. Rocky Horror Picture has dialogue. Cabaret has dialogue. So
All right.
a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of them. It's not that many that are continuous, but it was so fucking bad. And
Like Frozen bad?
they took themselves so seriously. Like there was a whole 4-year consideration campaign that they like had to
No, they
scrap.
pulled.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had to scrap it. Like
They scratched and clawed.
I mean, there's dancing CGI cockroaches in this movie.
Also,
Joe's apartment did that first.
This-
Sorry, Cats.
this movie, the budget was like $100 million. They thought of everything except for putting fur on the people's hands. So it just looks like everybody's wearing a fur coat the whole time.
Yeah,
Like every hand?
which
Everyone's
every hand,
hand.
like
Every
Judy's hand,
scene?
you can see her fucking wedding
No,
ring.
I know, but I thought that was only like
No,
one scene that they
it's
fucked up.
every scene.
Oh,
That's what I did. That's how I
boy.
made the time pass. I just kept going to ish, look hands, look hands, look hands again.
That's funny.
It was
Missy, would you say that's the worst movie of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of bad movies.
We talked about one on this podcast earlier this year. Jeff, what was the worst movie you saw?
Well, I saw 2 movies in the last 2 days. One, you can legitimately, it's a terrible movie, but I loved it. Velocipaster.
Right. No, but we're talking about real movies. That's a B movie.
Yeah.
We're talking about real movies.
A
I saw
B,
the
you're
light-
being very nice.
I saw the
No, there's actually no there's no clarification.
Oh, it doesn't go lower than
It doesn't
that?
go lower than
no,
that.
no, it doesn't. It's
It really is
I would
either a
like to
B movie.
I would like to nominate Sharknado for F.
yeah, those are all B movies. Those are
Those
all
are all-
yeah.
They're F's movies. F's.
You shut your mouth, right?
Yeah.
I know that you really enjoyed Velocipaster,
It
though.
was
Like
so
it's right up
it
your.
was so bad and cheesy. Like it was so.
Yeah, but so is Cats. The difference is a Velocipaster does not take itself seriously.
right.
And the Velocipaster didn't have human hands.
You're correct.
No,
They thought of that.
At least had a dinosaur.
They thought of that actually.
They at least had that much CGI budget.
No, it wasn't even CGI. It was like a puppet, but it was
Yeah.
like a bad puppet.
Was it like the
I mean, in all fairness, the original Yoda was a puppet.
But,
so, I
but
mean,
it's a
Right.
puppet that's
But,
mouth
like-
didn't move
but
because
hold
when
on.
he's eating somebody, you see their foot, and then you just see
But is
him
it-
moving his head up
but
and down.
is it
if
like
it's eating.
like Ed Wood? Like you can see the strings, kind of.
No, but it has no movement in the face because it's perfectly still.
Christ.
I don't think that's a puppet. I don't think that's called a puppet.
That's
I
just a
think-
toy
I think
that
that's
they're
just
moving
yeah,
around.
that thing that they're moving the camera instead of moving the actual puppet. That's hilarious.
Like it was, but I saw a movie that's acclaimed last night called The Lighthouse, the one with
Robert
Pattinson
Batman
jerking off.
and William Dafoe.
Batman and Green Goblin.
Yeah, and Green Goblin.
Excuse me. He is Edward Cullen before he is Batman.
No.
Don't you forget it.
He was in Harry
Technically-
Potter before all of that.
technically,
dummy.
chronologically, you are right. He is. I know. You showed me the
Yeah.
picture.
That's the dinosaur.
That's
Chronologically, he will always be
Edward Cullen.
Edward Cullen before Batman.
100%.
But with Batman, he has a chance of making a good movie.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't come out yet.
I'm not gonna argue
We're
that.
just saying chance. We're not saying it's going to happen. Just saying chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Lighthouse, it was super artsy. It was all black and white, and then like it was one of these just like weird, like there was this constant horn in the background that
Like a horn?
like it was weird, like this. Like throughout the entire movie, it was annoying as shit.
right.
And
But
like,
aren't they like lighthouse keepers?
Foghorn, yeah.
right?
It's a foghorn.
But it's the foghorn. But even when they're like indoors, it sounds like they're like it's right next to them.
Got
And,
it.
but like it was bad. And then him
It was
jerking off.
pretentious.
It was super pretentious and artsy.
Dave's going to love
I was
it.
gonna
Yeah.
say so. Dave will love it.
Where'd you see it in his account?
No,
It is black and white.
Publix
so,
Redbox, which reminds me I have to return it because I don't want to give them more money
Yeah.
today.
You paid a whole $1
Yeah.
for it?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I want my money back, Robert Pattinson.
I want my money back, money
Like,
back,
Default
money back,
was
money
great,
back. I
because-
want my money back, money back, money back, money.
Defoe played like the crazy lightkeeper, like awesome, but no, it was no.
All right.
The worst movie I saw was a toss-up. We've talked about this in the podcast before. It's between Charlie's Angels and Hobbs and Shaw. Both of them are identical movies. Just one of them has a super charismatic lead, and then the other one has
K-Stu.
So those are the only difference between those two movies. They're just absurdly ridiculous and bad. And I don't regret watching either one of them, but I will never watch them ever again. Be fine with that.
I'm waiting for Hobbs and Shaw to be $1 in the flea market, and then I'm gonna buy it. But that's it.
It's like I'm waiting for it to be $1, and then I'm gonna make somebody else.
Well,
buy it.
I'm waiting. I would buy cats for $1, but I only want to.
Oh, I'm gonna buy Cats for like $8.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I
I'm gonna
want
spend $8
because
on
you
that
know
one.
You
what?
wanna see
No,
how-
I want to see. I want Christy to watch it. You know how they're certified fresh. She's my certified rotten now. So if she thinks it's bad, then you know
She's
it's
not gonna
fucking
think
bad.
it's that bad.
Okay,
She's gonna
well,
be like, this isn't that bad, guys.
There's only
No,
one
yeah.
way to find out.
She's only
Challenge accepted.
Are we gonna put money on this?
All right, so
I think she'll like it.
let's start off, man. We're starting off with our list. So number 10, we're gonna go with number 10. What is your number 10, Missy?
My number 10 is Booksmart.
Oh, that's the one with the girl from the
Beating
Last Man
Cubs.
Standing.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good movie.
So Booksmart is. Did you watch?
I saw this.
Okay.
I really liked it.
So Booksmart was directed by Olivia Munn.
Olivia Wilde. This is like the third time you've done this.
As I was saying, I'm like, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it wrong. I mean, I got it wrong. So Booksmart came out earlier this year. It didn't have a big marketing push, so it really was. And I'm only saying this because I saw it on my Instagram feed. But a lot of people, like, it was word of mouth that it was really good. That kept it in theaters for as long as it did. This is like a high school movie
Yeah.
of it. It's like, and without giving away any spoilers.
Superbad.
It's like I can't.
Yes, but it's a little bit more serious
Yeah.
and super bad.
It's kind of like Can't Hardly Wait,
Yeah.
and like a baby of Can't Hardly Wait and Breakfast Club, like that. Something like something.
I
Like
saw
that.
it.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, that's what
Did you like it?
Superbad. Yeah, I liked it.
You never
But
see-
it was
you never saw
It was
Superbad?
basically Superbad. Again.
Which
I
is
did-
funny because her brother
Yeah,
is
it's
super
her
bad.
brother.
Yeah.
I don't like. I saw it, but I didn't like it. So I saw it once in like 10, 15 years ago. So
Yeah, I saw.
I
the
really
movie
like
earlier this
super
year.
bad, but yeah,
No, but I really enjoyed Booksmart. I thought it was great.
I agree.
I really like that.
Billy Lord was fantastic.
And they did a really good thing, which I enjoyed. Like, typically when you watch high school movies, like there's like the Breakfast Club, there's the jock, there's the popular girl, that whatever. But this movie kind of starts out that way, and then halfway through they kind of blur the lines, and it was really So I really enjoyed it, and that's my number 10.
No, I really enjoyed. I actually
too.
did enjoy that movie.
I did
thought
too.
it
It's
was
like
great.
it's an
I
honorable
love you.
mention.
You're surprised. You saw it? Yeah.
I didn't. I don't.
Yeah, some people watch the recommendations from their friends, Missy.
Yeah, I don't. Oh,
Colorful commentary from the Peanuts.
zero fucks. So
Wow.
yeah.
Zero fuck.
Yeah, zero.
Zero fucks 2020, guys.
So that's my number 10.
All right, Stephanie.
Zero fucks 2020. My number 10 is Chasing Happiness.
I've never even heard of that movie.
It's the Jonas Brothers documentary.
Oh, that wasn't a good documentary at all.
I loved it.
I watched it. I thinking that
Justice for Kevin.
Okay, sure. I watched it. I found the story interesting. I just don't like the way the documentary was made.
That's okay.
But I found the story interesting. I did find that I learned some things about the Jonas Brothers that I myself was I just assumed something, like when they said, "Oh, people assumed that we were a Disney-made product, that
right?
Disney churned us out," and I was one of those people. I thought that they were.
Me too.
And so it was cool to know that. Like again, I think their story is interesting.
Right. And
But
I
I'm
think
just
that's
like,
the
I don't
takeaway from this more than like the style and then it's made was that like I didn't really know. I've been like a casual fan like in my late teens, early 20s, and then they broke up and what?
When it was inappropriate.
When it was inappropriate. I'm not more inappropriate than Christy.
True. No, grandparents like cool things all the time. That's not. Why you guys say that about her?
Yeah,
Zero
for real.
fucks 2020.
But I did.
I like the fact that her husband didn't come to her defense.
No.
Her husband was just like, "Damn,
That was harsh.
no lies detected."
It's between the Jonas Brothers and the kid from American Assassin. She's a creeper.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Saber-tooth tiger up in this piece, y'all.
Notice
I
am
didn't know
younger
that the
than her.
reason that they had actually broken up was just because like Nick was over it, and he wanted to like launch his solo career. And
I
then-
didn't know anything about them before this because I'm not a fan of theirs at
Right.
all.
Me
Like,
either.
however, I always got that impression. Just same reason why I always got the impression that they broke up because Nick wanted to do his solo stuff. The same way I assumed
That Justin left NSYNC.
that NSYNC broke up because Justin was
Right.
like, "Hey, I'm very popular, guys.
Well,
Kind of a big deal, guys.
I'm kind of a
I
big deal."
didn't-
But that they're both accurate assumptions.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
I just
Yeah, no,
again,
they
like
are.
what I'm saying. Like before this documentary, I don't know anything about the Jonas Brothers other than they were big on Disney.
Yeah.
They had
Me too.
they had the rings of like, oh,
The
I'm not
purity rings.
the
The
purity
purity
rings, which I knew was always bullshit. And then I feel again, this is my assumptions before knowing anything about them. This is all I knew about them. 10 years ago, it was like, oh, they broke up because the one guy wanted to be bigger.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know the names.
Right.
Well, I did.
But now we're BFFs, so it's
yeah, exactly.
I'm on the same boat as Neri. I
Ship.
would consider I would consider myself a 2019 Joe Bro fan.
yeah.
The documentary, I personally really enjoy like behind the curtain
Right.
stuff. Like that's why I liked Ed Sheeran's documentary. But I don't think personally, like I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was anything out of this world. I learned a lot, like everything Neri just
I
said.
liked it, and they've become. I was, like I said, I was a casual fan. I liked them. I went to a concert of theirs years ago, but I wasn't like super crazy about them. But like this, I kind of like. I kind of appreciated them more, and like I feel like 2019 in general, like they were huge, and their comeback was huge,
Well-
a huge deal. So
What I will say, like going back to the whole Nick Jonas thing, I ended up going to the concert, and
was
as
great.
somebody who's never ever seen them live, I just got into their like hard air quotes, but I just got into their music last year.
Ditto.
Going into their concert, you could tell who the fuck the Justin Timberlake is in that group,
yeah,
like from fucking nosebleed seats. So it made total sense. Like the whole thing came together.
What was the
but-
name of the movie?
it's called Chasing Happiness.
Chasing Happiness.
The thing that sticks out to me the most about this movie is kind of like they screwed over Kevin. Like at the end,
Which one was that one?
the oldest one, the one that's like married with two
The
little
one
girls.
that's not Nick. Or the
Yeah.
other one.
I don't know.
The one that's not Nick, or the one that's not married to Sansa.
I thought Nick was married to Sansa. That's how
No.
dumb I am. So
No, Priyanka.
He's married to Priyanka Chopra.
I don't. Yeah.
Look,
Miss
this is
Universe. Rita.
Baywatch.
I know she's super hot.
Baywatch.
I know
Look,
she's super hot, but
this
then I
one
guess
is
she should be.
Kevin.
Okay.
So
So they screwed over him.
right,
Why?
and he's the oldest brother. They when they had decided to break up, but they had like a couple of shows already like left that they were contracted for, so they needed to finish them out.
Right.
And then Kevin got a phone call from like management or something. They were like, "Oh, we're not doing the show. Like you don't need to come. Like we're not. You guys aren't playing it." And they never. Nick and Joe went on to play the show without him, like with full knowledge that they like basically
Why?
because they did.
no, because
But-
they talked. Remember they talked about in the documentary.
Yeah.
They thought
I
that,
didn't watch the last 20 minutes.
okay, so they're
This
talking.
is like in the middle, but so you probably should have.
Spoiler
Gotten to
alert,
it,
they
but-
came back.
no,
That's why I was like, I don't know.
so this is Joe.
Uh-huh.
That's the one that's married to Sansa.
That's Sansa's
So what I was gonna say, I haven't seen the documentary. I saw bits of it because Christy's
Because you live with Christy.
Yeah, but there one thing that I thought was cool that she had mentioned to me that happened was the whole idea of that they all sat around like at a hotel and just with liquor and said we're gonna air everything out.
And that was so they were working. The way that the whole comeback came together is that they were working on a documentary about them before because of that, and that was like the kickstart conversation was like we need to just air out our dirty laundry and say whatever it is that we need to say to each other, fight about it, and move on.
Right.
Because there was a period where like
So why did they do that to Kevin?
So I was trying to explain it.
Yeah.
They told him in that round of like drink, truth or dare or whatever. They told him that basically they thought that he wasn't committed to the band, and he was a husband and dad, and really didn't give a shit about the band anymore. So they just decided to go forward, like close out the last few shows without him.
So and then like they spent like there were 2 years where they didn't talk to each other. It wasn't until Kevin's daughter was born that they didn't even like have Thanksgiving together. So they spent so there was like a whole period of time where they weren't even speaking. So
okay.
See, kids do fix things.
All right, so chasing happiness, Jeff.
All right, I'm just gonna pull the trigger because I was between two for number 10. Number 10's Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
All right, table.
Figured.
Star Wars.
Figured.
Rise of.
Like half of
Making out.
are gonna be tabled because nobody else saw them except me.
All right. My number 10 is the first of the streaming service original movies. Is Always Be My Maybe.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Wow. That is a surprise.
Yeah.
You are so adorable.
I liked that movie.
That's an HM.
Love that.
so
It's not an HM, but I liked it.
I loved that movie a lot.
Was it
Came
Keanu?
out this year.
I was.
Was it Keanu?
No. It has. This movie has This movie has things that I don't like, and yet somehow
You don't like Keanu?
I don't like Keanu. Look, Keanu to me,
I
I've
don't
always
not like him.
for a million years.
That
For a
doesn't
million
make
years.
sense, bitch. I don't not like him.
For a million years, I have always stated by Keanu is the worst actor in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
And the joke I've made for over 20 years was Keanu is the worst actor in Hollywood with the best fucking agent. Because this motherfucker is in amazing movies, such as Devil's Advocate. He's in amazing movies, but he's always the weak link. He's always like, you're fucking bad. And then he got the role of a lifetime in John Wick. And that made those John Wick movies I adore and love. It's because he's not doing any acting.
He's not really talking.
He's not talking.
Excuse me. Shane Falco was amazing, sir.
He's not talking, and he's
Shane Falco is amazing.
Yeah. Weakest link in that movie.
what movie?
The Replacements?
The Replacements.
Shane Falco's
You're right.
not-
You're
Wait, but
right,
are you
yeah.
saying
But
that-
there's no weak link in that movie.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no glaring like that's weak actor. That's no John Favreau's in it. Like everything like that movie is really good. Replacements. But John Wick movies are amazing, but there's no acting. Especially when you see when you see Keanu Reeves can actually fire guns and shoot that way. You're like, oh, so he's doing zero acting now. It's not even like he can legit do this. So we're just watching him do this with cameras around him. Like it's not a fucking. So I love the John Wick movies, and that's what made him come back into pop culture is the John Wick movies, and now everybody loves him. And again, I now love Keanu, but I love him as John Wick because there's no actual acting involved.
But they made him be that character and Always Be My Maybe. Like he was Keanu, but like turned up to like 40.
And that's why I like this. That's what I'm saying. So Always Be My Maybe has things.
Like he was in on the joke.
Ali Wong, I don't like her stand up. I don't think she's funny. I think her stand up is as funny as a bag of dead babies. I don't think she's funny. However,
he doesn't really like her.
However, in this movie, she's fucking fantastic.
That's awesome.
That's what the whole point of me saying all this thing about Keanu is like there are elements about this movie that I separately like the ingredients. I'm like, oh, I don't like those ingredients at all. But then they made this, and I'm like, oh, this shit is this is awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed how it's a romantic comedy, but I like the fact that there is no one person is right. Like there's not both of them had their flaws, but both of them were always meant to be together. And I thought it was fucking great. And it's
a great movie.
It's a good movie.
Really enjoyed that movie. So
Look at you, you're so cute.
Well, I
That was
also
you this time.
that movie also had a lot of screen time for Michelle Boutier. How do you say her last
The
name?
assistant?
The assistant?
Yeah.
She was great.
Yeah, she was
She's
great.
awesome.
I love that line when she's like, "Don't give me your fucking phone voice, bitch." Like, I was
Yeah.
so great. That was so fantastic.
She also had a small, I don't know if it's on anybody's list, but she had a small cameo on Someone Great, another Netflix original.
No, I haven't never even heard
That's
that
not on my
one.
list, but she had a small. Yeah, Someone Great is good, but she has a very like a 2-3 minute scene with Gina Rodriguez, and she fucking kills it. So I'm really excited for her. I hope she gets a lot of more screen time and other
Good
stuff.
for her.
Buto. There you go.
Muto.
All right, so number 9. So number 10s we had Booksmart, Chasing Happiness, Rise of Skywalker. I always put the in there.
I do too.
I always
don't
put
know
the
why.
word the in there. Like, even when I was editing the podcast, I was like, I literally put that in the title and then Googled it and go, no, wrong one. Always Be My Maybe. Number 9, Missy.
My number 9 is Knives Out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm the only person at the table that has not seen it. So I'm
Okay.
just prefacing.
We don't have to table it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was going to put it in there, but I could see it coming from a mile away.
Oh,
Yep.
did you?
No, I'm totally mocking the yours.
Why? What did Steph say about it?
Steph literally said I could literally see it
could-
coming from a mile away.
Like, it was so obvious.
And it's so funny.
Shut the
when
fuck
you
up,
when you
bro.
when you wrote that when you wrote that
Sorry, not sorry.
when you wrote that, me and Missy looked at each other and shrugged their shoulders like, I guess we're idiots, because I never fucking saw it coming. I was like,
Was
all
it
right.
the chef? Is that why it's called Knives Out?
I literally-
so Knives Out.
Colonel Mustard in the library with the red.
So Knives Out is a whodunit,
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and whodunit movies aren't my thing. So I clutched my pearls when you got to the whodunit.
I didn't I don't know if I clutched my pearls, but I like the fact that 20 minutes into the movie they told you who did it, and then you just, okay, that's it, that's who did it. But then the story became
twist.
from not who did it, but why or how did I,
Yeah.
and, then, sorry, and went through this whole thing
Yeah.
where I thought was real cool. I was really like, I don't want to give spoilers, but I was like, oh really? Like, I was really upset about ethnically of the who they
Right.
tried him. I'm like,
Right.
20 minutes into the movie, they're like, this person did it. I'm like, oh really? The fucking minority? That's what
Yeah.
we're gonna fucking
Well,
go with,
yeah.
right?
What I-
And then and again, it changed throughout
Yeah,
the movie,
yeah.
but it was the initial, like, I thought it was great. I thought it was really great.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a great ride. The acting is great. The cast is fantastic. I like it. It was just, for me, obvious, but it was great. It was a good movie.
I saw Murder on the Orient the year before,
no, Murder in the Orient is like,
or 2 years before.
Yeah,
No, but I saw it last year.
Oh, okay.
I saw it last year. But I saw it last year, and I had read the book when I was in summer school going to 9th grade. It was like one of those summer readings where
Right.
you have to, and I didn't know any better. Like, I thought that they were actually going to test us on that shit. So I
So you
actually
actually
read
read
the
it.
book because I thought, I'm going to high school now. It's going to be different. People are, know these books. You're really going to have to read these books, and you didn't. And, I learned that after that. I was like, we're not going to get tested. Oh, fuck that. I'm not reading this shit.
Yeah.
So I read the book, but again, I didn't remember. So when I saw Murder in the Orient and I saw the end, I was like, that's a cop out.
so I read
So-
Murder in the Orient. Go ahead, sorry.
So I thought Knives Out was going to be that situation. I was like, so I was waiting for, like, is it going to be everybody? If it's
Right.
going to be everybody, I'm fucking out of this
Yeah.
shit. This is bullshit. And then when it wasn't everybody, I was like, oh, good. They actually didn't. All right, cool.
Right.
All right.
I love Murder on the Orient. I read that in middle school and I've loved it and I've always remembered it. So I liked the movie, but like I wasn't surprised by Murder on the Orient because it was exactly
watched the movie, right?
Yeah, so I knew what was going on. But that being said, like I love like murder mystery movies. I think that
I
they're great.
don't know any other murder mystery movie except for Clue that I've never seen. So
I've never
I don't-
seen it either.
I've
You
never.
don't
So
know
what
anything
other
about
murder
it.
mystery movie are we? Because I don't
remember,
know.
I'm married to Dave. But I watch a lot of fucking.
So
old shit.
1927's.
You have more than one TV in the house.
Yeah, you don't have to be next to him. No, but I don't know of any. Like, I know you guys said that in the chat. You and David said
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of murder mystery movies," and I really was like, I don't know. Aside from Clue, I don't
Right.
know of any other. There's Clue, there's Murder in the Orient, and there's Knives Out now. But in my mind, I couldn't figure out.
Yeah,
But I liked them. Missy and I saw Knives Out
I liked it. I liked it.
together, and it was a lot of fun.
The only thing I didn't like, I mean, everything you just said is why it's my number 9. But the only one critique I did have of the movie was Daniel Craig's accent.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
But I think it was purposely bad because they even made fun of it in the movie. Like, there are characters that made fun of his accent in the movie,
Fine.
which I thought it was purposely done. Like, I thought it was like, the way I took it was they're tipping their hat to those movies with those crazy accents.
Yeah, like the
those-
exact. Oh, like a character.
Like a caricature.
Right.
Like, so I thought, and because, and the fact that they pointed it out, characters in the movie, like, oh, really? And they like make fun of him. I was like, oh, it's like a wink at the camera. That's how I took it.
So, are you guys happy or not happy that they're doing a spin-off with his character?
I like.
Well, he's
It's
gonna
not
work with a
spin-off.
voice coach, like a better voice coach. Apparently,
It's not a spin-off. It's a sequel. No.
It's a
It's another case that he's doing.
Right.
So
So
it's a
that's why I
sequel.
say it's a
Right.
But
It's a sequel.
it's a spin-off of his character because his character was in this movie,
Right.
And now
Right.
his character's doing a movie.
it's like
of
a
different.
for lack of a better
Anthology?
term. Yeah, like shared universe, I guess.
I know,
of
but no,
this
that would be a
investigator.
sequel. Like, the sequel doesn't have to be everybody in the cast come back together.
No, I understand, but it doesn't follow like him as a storyline. It's not about his life. It's him like investigating
Yeah,
other
but
people.
Knives Out
consider-
isn't about him either. It's
Exactly.
about
Would
him
you consider,
investigating.
like Casino Royale being like the sequel to it is the next one that Daniel Craig did, or would you consider that a different movie?
No, that's a sequel.
Okay, well, same
That's a sequel. In that specific case, there's an actual. Like it's
Well, yeah, Quantum of Solace is a
Quantum
direct
literally
sequel.
takes place
Direct,
Yeah.
you're right.
like that's like Karate Kid 2 and 3. Like that's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sequel.
that
like,
is a direct
that's-
sequel to
I guess
Casino
let me go
Royale.
back with the older ones then, like
Yeah.
the old ones with Sean Connery. They weren't direct. It's the same character,
Right.
doing different movies.
I thought there was. I
different
just
cases.
considered those. I personally, because I'm dumb and I didn't see this
No,
coming
not
from a
calling
mile
you
away.
out. No,
No, because I didn't see it coming from a mile away. You gonna let me finish the joke?
Oh.
Because I'm dumb and a simpleton and I like things spoon fed to me. I think that's a sequel. I just thought that was a sequel. I'm like, all right,
I
that's
think,
a
I think both ways is
think
the
it's
right
fine.
way to look at it.
yeah.
The other
Love
thing.
is love.
I don't think you're dumb. I think you're super smart.
I'm okay with being dumb. I like it. It made my movie experience that much better.
The other thing I liked about this movie was the underlying like immigration theme.
Yeah.
Like the passive aggressive immigration plot line of how the family's trying to every time they say, oh, she's whatever, they pick another country,
ethnicity?
another
Right.
ethnicity. So I thought that was cool too. I've never heard of the I don't know her name, so I'm sorry.
Super hot chick.
The lead, but she's really talented. I
Super
enjoyed
hot.
Chris Evans being like not
A dirtbag?
I wasn't gonna say dirtbag. I was just not traditionally his character. But yeah, it was.
He plays. You know what's so funny? This is how popular Marvel movies are. Every movie that I've seen of him that's not.
Anna de Armas.
Yeah.
so.
Any movie that I've seen of Chris Evans that's not him in a Captain America costume is against type.
Yeah.
Because we're just so used to seeing him in Captain America. He played a hitman in the Iceman movie a few years ago. He did a phenomenal job at that. Like every movie I've seen of him, and then maybe the Gift. I guess that's the closest you're gonna get to Captain America. But even then, he wasn't perfect. Like he wasn't. But we're just so used to seeing him as Captain America.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
That-
But I like the movie a lot. So
Me
Knives
too.
Out, good. All right, number 9 for Estefani.
My number 9 is. I just want to make sure. Late Night.
Table.
It was an honorable mention. It was on my list for a long, long time, and then it wasn't.
I saw it on the Amazon thing. I just never watched.
But we're gonna table it. All right. So,
Okay.
Jeff, not me. It's that,
Missy said table?
Missy
Yeah.
table.
Okay. All right. I know mine's not going to be tabled. My number 9 is Alita Battle Angel.
Ooh, table.
Excuse me?
No, I'm kidding. It was my number 10, and I wanted to have a romantic comedy in there, but it was my number 10. Like
really?
it was latching on for dear life, and then at one point I was between Always Be My Maybe and Alita, and I literally said this. I was like, people have seen Alita. Like, the whole point of me making these lists is like I want to see movies that I would otherwise. I want to let people know about movies that I don't think otherwise they would have
See,
seen.
but I would argue because I don't think a lot of people saw Alita.
Alita's fantastic though, man.
I love
Please
that
talk about it because I'm glad you brought it up because it was my number 10 for a long time, and I literally only took it down because of the genre it was in. I was like, I have other action movies, and I don't have many romantic comedies, so I'm gonna go ahead and. But Alita is fucking fantastic.
Alita Battle Angel is based off of a manga from 1990, and then
Of course. Of course.
and then a 1993 limited series. But basic premise is
Robert Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez, and then Christoph Waltz is the one of the main actors in
like
it.
him.
Yeah, he plays like the doctor, and then
The surrogate father.
he finds this.
It freaks me out when he doesn't play like raging assholes.
So can I be honest with you? I love Alita. I love the movie. I think, and I love Christopher Waltz. So please don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. I think he was miscast.
I don't.
Because when I watched the movie, I was like, I would rather have seen somebody else in that role.
Do you think because you want him to be more sarcastic? Because he was really loving in this.
No, I don't know. I watched that movie, and there was somebody, I forget who it was, because I watched this movie months ago, but I forgot who it was that I really was like, I think this person would have been better in this role. Like, I think, and I forgot who the actor is now, so it's a moot point. But moo. Yeah.
It's like a cow's opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But basically the idea is he finds this brain
torso
and this upper torso of this robot, because it's in a futuristic dystopia where there was this great war with the planet Mars and stuff like that, and he takes it back and he basically retrofits her onto this body, and she doesn't have any memory. She doesn't have any idea of who she was
or what she is.
And he kind of raises her, and he like takes her in under his wing, and
like Edward Scissorhands.
Like she's got a character. She's got like this boy that like welcomes her and like treats her like she's a normal person, everything like that. And you slowly start to find out that she's actually like a soldier. And she's like this badass soldier that has all these abilities, and
she's the last of her kind.
Yeah, she's the last of her kind. There's these assassins that's played by Ajax from Deadpool. He plays one of the main assassin guys that goes after her. They have like a very cool like rollerball type game that all the enhanced people play called. Good. I can't remember what the name of the game.
I mean, I saw this months ago, man.
But so the idea of the whole movie is that they all live on the surface, and then there's this like city in the sky that's supposed to be where all the wealthy.
That you can see.
You can see it from everywhere.
You can see it from. You can see the city in the sky from everywhere, but obviously you're seeing it from the bottom. But you can see the cables that connect. It's almost like a floating city. It's a weird thing.
That it's hooked by cables. They don't say whether it's to make it because it'll float away, but there's giant cables that connect to it from the ground, and everybody's goal is to try to get up to there because they believe that that's paradise.
Got it.
And I'm trying to remember the villain, the name, the
Social Commentary.
Oh, I know the actor that's a bad guy. It's Ken Norton.
Ken Norton.
Ken Norton. Listen to me. Edward Norton. Ken Norton's a football player.
Ken
Norton's a football player.
Ken
Norton's a football player from the 80s. Edward Norton.
Okay.
Yeah, but the special effects are amazing
fantastic.
in it.
I hope to make a sequel, man.
Yeah, I saw I only saw trailers. I to be honest, this movie didn't really like interest me at all. I know Dave really wanted to watch it, and he bought it in 4K specifically because it was going to be the first movie he saw on his new 4K TV. But
humble brag.
but it looked like the CG looked cool. Like it looked super realistic.
It was great. I thought the movie was fantastic.
Mix. It has heart. It's got action. It's and it has some funny moments in it. But I just thoroughly. It's a movie that I think if you didn't see it, you should definitely give it a chance because it's not just this random sci-fi like.
I thought it was great. It really is hard to classify this movie as just any one thing. But it's really, I thought it was fantastic. It was on my list probably until I want to say a week ago. Like just because of the flurry of movies that I've been watching in the last 2 weeks, it was like, oh fuck, these are now. I wish I had been like missing and not watched anything in the last 2 weeks because it would have been my list had that been the case.
Right.
But it was really good. It was fantastic.
Cool.
Alita.
I'm glad you saw it.
Yeah, man. Of course I saw it. It's on my fucking. I own it.
Somebody watched it.
Battle Angel. No, but you didn't recommend that movie to me.
No.
That's not one of the ones you hounded me for. My number 9.
Shut up from now on. I'm not going to recommend shit to anybody. Yeah.
My number 9 is there's a difference between recommending and selling. You're like, come on, I can buy fucking peanut butter. I'm like, all right, I'll buy it. Jesus.
I didn't tell you to buy it.
I know. It's just me. It's just I'm talking shit, man. My number 9 is Dolomite Is My Name.
Table.
There you go.
Is what?
Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh, okay.
Another.
I should have watched that.
Another. It's a Netflix original.
If only somebody had told you to watch that. Anyway,
none of you told me to watch it.
I watched it when the first day it came out because it's Eddie Murphy and I'm gonna watch anything with Eddie Murphy. I think it has by law like.
Did you see Dreamgirls?
Yeah, no. Contractually, I have to watch anything.
Well,
that
then you haven't seen everything by Eddie Murphy.
Well, no, I watched Good Things by Eddie Murphy.
Dreamgirls was nominated for Best Picture, sir.
What does that mean? That means nothing.
You want a shit ton of Oscars. Eddie Murphy won an Oscar.
You know the movie that won. Have you seen the movies that have won Best Picture?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of.
There was a foreign black and white silent movie that won a fucking.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad.
That was in 2015.
I know. It's
I
the
refused to watch a fucking silent movie in 2015, and not only that, give it a fucking Oscar, and not only that, give it an Oscar for Best Picture. Excuse me, a silent film in 2015 gets Best Picture? Oh, fuck you.
Well, Eddie Murphy won an Oscar for Dreamgirls, so shove it.
I know.
Who won an Oscar for
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy for supporting actor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was it an Oscar? I know he won the Golden Globe.
He won. Yeah, he won. They were all nominated except for Beyonce.
But did he win? He won Oscar for it? I thought he won. I know he won a Golden Globe.
I'm looking it up, but keep fighting. Keep fighting.
I know for sure Jennifer Hudson won the supporting.
I know for a fact that he won a Golden Globe because I watched that. I watched that Golden Globe.
He was great. He was their manager. He was great in the movie.
Yeah. All right. So Dolomite is my name, but it's tabled.
Okay.
Is my number 9. So for number 9s, we have Knives Out, Late Night, Alita, Battle Angel, and Dolomite is my name. Number 8.
Late Night.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Late Night, I didn't even know about this movie. I don't know if it ever even went to theaters. It wasn't. I don't know.
I think it did. I remember seeing a trailer for it.
But Mindy Kaling is a phenomenal TV writer. Like I
think she's a phenomenal writer. Period.
Yeah. But I haven't read any of her books. That's why I said TV.
Oh, I don't know that. I don't know that garbage.
Yeah,
I'm talking about. I'm talking about TV or movies. I think she's just a phenomenal writer.
Yeah. She's a phenomenal writer. So if she's tagged to a project, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Absolutely.
So I was really surprised about this movie because I wasn't the premise. The initial premise is a little. It's a stretch. Wait, did everybody see it?
No.
Okay, so I think the initial premise of it is how she comes on to the late night show and everything. I think that's a little a little far fetched, but other than that,
I like that the way she came on. It was very happenstance. It was very like, she won a contest, which is bullshit. Mm-hmm. However, it just happened to coincide at the same time as somebody quitting, saying like, you hate women,
right,
to the host of a late night show, and she's like, I don't hate women. Who's a woman, and she has to go out of her way to prove, I don't hate women. Look, I'm gonna hire her, she's a woman.
And I also think that I love British humor because it's so dry and it just comes out of nowhere. Emma Thompson she can do no wrong in my book, and she does a phenomenal job of playing a character that's at a crossroads, that is very comfortable in her position, and I think.
But she's a little out of touch.
Well, I think that it just comes with like. You reach a certain age and you get very comfortable with the day-to-day status quo of your life. So
Emma Thompson's in the new Doolittle, so apparently she can do wrong. Yeah.
God, that movie is doing so bad.
Financially, and the box office, none of us have seen it. No. But then again, nobody in America apparently has.
Nobody saw it.
Has it opened in China yet? Is that going to save it?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to save it. They fucking kill every animal in that fucking movie. So I don't think the Chinese are going to be like, oh look, it's a talking gorilla. Like, why aren't they killing the gorilla?
I also like the concept of going. I don't know if there are other movies who do this, but the like behind the curtain type of view of late night television. I
think the only thing that I can recall, and it's not even a movie but it's similar, is Studio 60 was like the behind, and subsequently the other one,
Studio 60,
on the Sunset Strip years ago.
Oh, you said movie. That's right.
I said it wasn't a movie. It was a show.
I'm sorry.
And 30 Rock also did this. But I don't really think that there's been much on like the late night
scene.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I thought the writing was great. I thought that I'm really happy that they kind of like play switcheroo, because in I don't know if this would be considered a rom-com. Would it be considered a rom-com? I don't know. I don't know that it would, but you typically like the the outline of these kinds of movies is there's gonna be a love interest,
Right.
And
It's not.
Which there
It's
is.
not who you expect, though.
No, I saw that. This I legit saw coming a mile away. This one I legit. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I legit saw this one coming. I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna hook up. It's fine.
So I really enjoyed it, and that's one of the movies that Neri recommended. And
It was
Yeah.
on.
If
It
it
was
was
on
like
my
8
list.
months-
Almost because of you.
It was thank you, or you're welcome. I guess I should say. But I said thank you like I was like, oh, I'm there. Like,
I appreciate you watching the movie.
yeah, I
Like you made the movie.
yeah, I know.
It was a labor of love.
But I watched this movie was on my list for a very long time. Again, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've watched so many movies that this is one of the ones I got bumped off. And but yeah, this was in my top 10 for a long time. I like this movie a lot. It was literally when I went to get my number 10, I wanted to leave a romantic comedy. It was either going to be Late Night or Always Be My Maybe. And I was like, I don't know which one. And then I just went, went with my vagina. My vagina chose Always Be My Maybe.
so it was your number 9,
It
right?
was my number 9, yeah. For all the same reasons, I really loved it. I like Mindy Kaling, but I never saw much more of her than like her stuff in The Office. I've never seen the Mindy Project, but I like her.
Oh, you would
Mindy-
love.
Yeah.
Mindy
You,
Project's awesome.
you would love the Mindy Project.
Yeah.
That is so up your fucking. And like it was. Oh my god, yeah. You would
Okay.
so
The whole
love.
series is on Hulu.
Like have you ever seen a show like Gossip Girls and you're like, this is awful, and Missy would love it.
Yeah.
not
Do you mean
Gossip
Gilmore Girls?
Gilmore,
That's what I said. What did I say?
You said Gossip Girl.
I've never
Gossip,
watched
I'm
that
sorry,
piece
Gilmore
of shit
Girls.
show.
Gilmore Girls. I'm sorry, but you ever like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a type when
Yes.
you go, oh,
Yes.
my
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
will love it, even if
Yeah.
you don't personally like it.
Yeah.
You go, my friend will like this. I know this is, and Mindy Project is right, and I'm not saying Mindy Project is fantastic.
Yeah.
I've only watched the first 2 seasons because then life got in the way, but I'm telling you, you will love that fucking show.
Well, the point is, I never saw it. I only really know her writing from The Office,
right?
which-
And you don't know who's writing
exactly
is it?
because
Yeah.
it's a team of writers, and BJ Novak wrote, and which he's a great writer too. But so I didn't, and I like her.
I didn't know BJ Novak was a great writer. I knew he was a writer on The Office, but
Yeah.
until you start listening to The Office ladies,
Right.
you don't know who wrote. I don't fucking go through each episode and be like, who's the one that wrote this episode?
Yeah.
But BJ Novak apparently could write fucking. I knew he was a
think he-
writer on the show. I just didn't know which episodes he did.
I think he wrote a couple of episodes for the Mindy Project too.
Oh, I'm sure he
I didn't
did.
surprise. They're like best friends.
Yeah, they're
so that doesn't.
BFFs.
He's her son, her daughter's godfather. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I've been a fan of her. I follow on social media. I love her on social
She has
media.
kids?
She has a daughter. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Did not know that.
Yeah.
All right.
She has a
cool.
daughter. She's like 2, I think. I'm sorry.
Was she adopted?
No, she's biological, but she's never discussed who the father is.
Wow.
There's a lot of speculation that it's BJ
BJ
Novak.
Novak. That's hilarious. Would you at least be the Godfather? Jesus.
What's the kid's name? DJ?
Yeah. But JB.
DJ Mobley.
JB. The kid's name is JB. It's the opposite of BJ.
But I loved this movie. I mean, obviously it plays on like the current themes of like the things that have been brought to the forefront in the last 2 years of
Being woke.
of like women not having equal footing in the workplace. And even when you are, what was interesting for me was Emma Thompson's character, even though she is a woman in a powerful position, she still is not an equal to her counterparts, like her late night counterparts. So she still has, and she's fought, even though she's an asshole in like the beginning of this movie, she had to,
Oh no, she's still an asshole at the end of the movie.
right, but she had to like claw her way up to the position she in, and she's still not as highly revered as other people. So it was relatable in that sense for like women in the workplace at different levels, because it's like no matter what level you're at, whether you're just starting out or whether you think at the top of your game, you're still not considered as good as a man. So that really like resonated with me.
I love the fact. I love Holly from The Office was in this movie, and she was in there for like 5 seconds, and she was still fantastic. And I was like, "Oh, you're so good!" Like I just
John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The husband.
So good.
Yeah,
I know who John Lithgow is.
I don't know how you look.
You know the guy
just
from
for a
Third Rock
second.
from the
Yeah,
Sun?
you know the guy.
It's
a tiny show. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Ever heard of this? You seen this? You heard about this? Anybody? No, but it's fantastic. I thought I liked that movie a lot. I really enjoyed that movie.
That was a fun watch. And I really enjoy watching movies that make me feel
Feels.
stronger. I mean, not stronger, smarter, I guess. And just just because the plot line is a conversation starter. It's like an exploration of a conversation that's ongoing that nobody really addresses. There's no solution to it. And enjoyed that, and comedy and writing and everything. By the way, Dreamgirls the movie, it did win 2 Oscars. One
Sound editing, please God, tell me sound editing.
sound mixing.
Oh yes, major category.
Sound mixing and supporting actress. Eddie Murphy won Best Supporting Actor for Golden Globes.
Okay.
Jennifer Hudson got the Golden Globe for Supporting Actress, and then it got Best Motion Picture at the Golden Globes. But that's it for awards.
Oh, okay.
That's it. I thought you minimized
Sound
that shit.
mixing, that's fucking fantastic.
No, because I think you said at some point that it won a bunch of Oscars, and it's
It
like
was nominated.
It was
It was nominated.
Oh.
because
I knew it was heavily
remember
nominated.
Specifically, like the whole cast, like all the 2 of the 3 Dreamgirls were nominated, and Eddie Murphy was nominated.
Yeah.
So
all right.
She just loves taking a dig at Beyonce.
I do.
So that's her
it is.
her info nugget. She's like, everybody but Beyonce. So yeah, all right. I feel you. Number 9, Stephanie.
Number 8.
Number 8. I'm sorry. Number 8, Stephanie.
My number 8 is Untouchable, which is a Hulu documentary on the behind the scenes of the Harvey Weinstein case.
I haven't seen it.
It's really good.
Oh, so a fun movie.
Yeah, I don't want to go on and on just because we've talked about this a lot on this
Right.
podcast, so we don't have to like spend too much time on it. But what was most interesting for me on this is like we knew all the stuff that came to the forefront because of everything that was brought up against him. What we didn't really know, we probably assumed it, but we didn't really know was like how much of a raging bag of dicks he was, just like in every facet of his life.
Right.
Because they interviewed several people like that for this documentary that worked for the Weinstein Company, and basically he was able to like literally get away with whatever he want, including treating everybody like a fucking piece of shit. Like everybody that works for him, his brother, like everybody that worked with him, like just treating everybody like they were like lower than dirt, and it was just because he was making millions of dollars for the movie studio, so nobody gave a fuck.
And making good movies.
Well, right, they were. Good.
That's that's like literally what happens when you make. It's just the example of anybody like we like as a society. Well, if you made shitty movies, that would never be allowed to. Like if like Michael Jackson makes amazing music. Like I have friends who to this day would die on that mountain, on that hill. They would be like, Michael Jackson didn't do it, and I'm like as much as I don't know if he did it or not, you don't know if he did it or not. You're just that much of a fan,
right?
And to a way lesser extent, I always make fun of Missy for like being that much of a fan for Melissa McCarthy. Again, way lesser extent. Is
Melissa McCarthy hasn't
again, just to say like I loved and I love that about Missy.
She
like,
did do something to people.
Yeah.
At least some of her movies.
She makes.
By the way, you mentioned that I was looking it up because when you mentioned that I had never heard of it. Untouchable is on Hulu, not Netflix.
Did I say Netflix? I thought I said Hulu, but I meant Hulu. If I didn't, sorry.
I added it.
But anyway, so yeah, and it's not even only that he was making good movies that were successful. He would making good movies that were successful that were also critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
Like 10 years in a row, his movies got nominated for shit tons of Oscars and shit tons of awards and BAFTAs
and made
whatever,
money
and made a ton of money.
Yeah.
So this guy was like literally able to like not only
just goes to show you that talented people can be assholes.
Yeah. You know, and
that makes me feel better.
He started off as a radio promoter, I think, if I remember correctly. He started off working in New York as like a radio promoter and just like decided to start making movies because he had a little bit of money, and it went on from there. And now he's on trial.
now he's on crack.
Now he's on crack. And now he's pretending to be a decrepit old man.
Yeah.
But
he's definitely a decrepit old man. Definitely.
He's milking it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I give zero fucks.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. He's definitely a decrepit old man. That just doesn't change the fact of what he did. That doesn't mean anything.
That whole trial.
Just like Suge Knight. You ever remember when Suge Knight when it was on trial a couple years ago?
What did he do?
He went in there with a walker and the whole thing. Like I'm like, you were on camera running over a motherfucker 4 times. Like the same dude. It's not even. He literally backed up.
But now he has arthritis.
And now he's like, I couldn't possibly do that, Your Honor. Like we have you on camera, motherfucker.
Did the car have the handicap decal?
Yeah.
There's a reason that like he's doing this, and it also like just so coincidentally like plays into the fact that like half of his jury is literally like old white dudes.
Yeah.
So it's like let me like gain the sympathy of like half the fucking jury. So whatever, but yeah, it's fascinating though, like just the ins and out of like what he was able to get away with just because like
I'm gonna wait to be in a shitty mood and then I'll watch that movie.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
So
pick me up.
So tomorrow, because it's Monday. Yeah. No, I'm happy today.
All right, so Untouchables. Jeffrey?
All right, I'm going to swap. Actually, I'm swapping my number 7 and my number 8.
All right.
I'm going to use my romantic comedy of the top 10, Marriage Story.
That's funny because it's not a rom-com.
Jeff, this barely doesn't make my list. Like, but just
I think this is definitely a comedy because anybody who expects us to believe that Adam Driver should be married to Scarlett Johansson is hilarious.
But ScarJo with her Karen haircut.
yeah.
She is. She does look
Not
like a can.
flattering at all.
Nobody else has it.
No.
Okay.
No. I lived it.
But
I don't need to see
I
it.
refuse to watch this fucking fantasy of a movie.
I really loved it.
Star Wars is cool,
Yeah,
but
no,
Adam
Star
Driver
Wars
as a
totally
husband.
fucking believable. This shit.
Jedi, as a Sith Lord that can control things with his mind. Totally
hilarious.
believable.
Yeah,
Married to her,
Sith.
fuck that.
Yeah, that face, Sith Lord, that shit goes fucking hand in hand. I believe it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If I was that ugly, I would totally go to the dark side.
I'd be pissed off.
Yeah, I'd be really angry. Ugh.
You gave me this face.
Look at this face I have.
This was the best acting I had seen until I saw something else, and then I was like, "Oh no!"
Well,
but it's great.
After I finished watching it, I messaged Missy and I said, the acting that the two of them did in it was. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal.
Everybody thinks it's phenomenal.
Right.
I don't think anybody's ever said that acting is not phenomenal.
But there have to be the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen on film.
To
in my
which
entire life.
I told Jeff, I go, one, that's the greatest movie critic of all time, and two, that just means you're probably doing marriage right. If you're
that's
going,
literally what I told him. He was like, "There's two of the stupidest motherfuckers on the planet." And I was like, "Oh, so they're married? All right, no, that's cool. That makes sense."
And apparently,
Like, I love being married, and I'm like, I say this on stage all the time. I'm not.
Hey, Vanessa,
commi-
can
you say it
step out
because
a
your
second?
wife is in
No,
the
no,
room.
Can you leave the room for a second?
I say this on stage all the time. I say there's a lot of comedians that make fun of marriage. They make fun. They hide the fact that they're married. I refuse to ever do that, and I get why they do that. However, I love being married doesn't mean that marriage isn't stupid. Like
No.
there's so
Right.
fucking many things about marriage. Like if it wasn't like the institution of marriage, when you come to think about it, you go. Again, this is coming from somebody who admittedly loves being married. There's a lot of things you go. You would never do that about with anybody else. You would never accept that from anybody else. You would
Right.
never accept this, but it's marriage. That's how we. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's fun. It's weird because the situations that they put themselves in. That's why I say they're the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet, because there's signs that you as the viewer are like, "Hello, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what do you?" But again, healthy relationship. So maybe I'm looking at it. I'm like, how do you not see what the fuck's going on here?
So I had a similar.
But I will say it's always easier to spot things from the outside than the inside, and when you're going through things.
You're not wrong.
You know, it's like the person who's drowning can't see the shark, but the lifeguard, he's outside. He can see it. He can see the signs. That's every relationship advisor I've ever fucking heard in my life say this.
Yeah, but it's also not wrong.
No, it's not wrong. It just becomes a cliche. You go, all right, we fucking get it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Missy.
No, it's a version of what you just said.
Thanks for stepping on her.
I'm sorry. That's just every relationship. I've given that relationship advice a million
No.
times where I'm like, the lifeguard sees more than the person that's drowning.
I wasn't gonna say any of that the cliches. I was gonna say that I had a similar viewing experience watching Modern Love, which is a short 8-episode series on Amazon Prime, and
great
it's
series.
based on an actual New York Times column that comes out every Sunday, and just people talking about like the entire spectrum of dating, being in love, marriage, whatever, and each episode is a different relationship situation, and a lot of the times you're watching it, and again, as a viewer, you're watching it from the outside, and you're like, bro,
Yeah.
you're heading for a brick wall.
What are you doing?
Right. But
No, Carlos, no.
but I guess that's the whole point. That's why it makes it fun, is because all the cheesy shit that Neri was just saying is like, you as a viewer, not like watching it as entertainment, you can step out of it and be like, hello. But if you're in it,
Not even entertainment, like in real life. Like how many times have we seen our friends say or do shit that you're like, oh no. Like you tell me all the time. When I tell you stories of what's happening in my relationship, I'm talking to Missy, for the listener, I'm talking to Missy. There are many times where I'm telling her a story, and as I'm telling her a story, she'll cut me off and go, no, danger. She'll literally say that to me. And I'm like, no, but then I said this. And she was like, no, you did motherfucking idiot.
No,
Jesus.
there's one time that I was like, so you never want to have sex like ever again? Like that's what you're trying
It
to do?
doesn't matter anyway. Like I just, that's real life. Like
But-
it's a cliche, but it's real life.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when you're in it, you
But I
just
feel
say
like
and do
this was
stupid
a
shit.
real, like, or not, maybe not real, but like at least relatable to like.
It's loosely based off of the
It is.
writers and directors actual.
Oh,
Actual
really?
divorce.
The actual
yeah.
divorce.
Wait, but the ex couple collaborated on this movie?
No,
It's
well, I don't think so.
he
I don't
was-
know.
No, I think what they mean is that the director and the writer are both each divorced, and they've each had their
No,
own.
no,
The
what I'm
writer
saying
director Noam Baumbach was married to Jennifer Jason Leigh, and this is based
So
on.
wait, I don't know who these people are. So
Jennifer
like,
Jason Leigh is a
Actress.
an actress, and Noah Baumbach is like one of these super artsy fartsy. Like he made that movie The Squid and the Whale a couple of years ago. Like he's a very like pretentious.
So my question is-
but it's based on their divorce. It based on what it like. He based this story around what happened when
She
they
tells
got
no
divorced.
lies. Siri just told me.
no, but my question is, are the writer and director ex?
It's the same person.
Oh, okay, that's why I thought it was different people.
Oh, so the writer is the director and
Correct.
vice versa.
right, that's what
That
I was
was it.
thinking.
That
That's
was-
the confusion.
That was the headline.
Okay.
Yes.
But it so it is based on truth, and it's but I mean, what other movie are you gonna get Scarlett Johansson saying, "I just want you to finger me, nothing else"?
Yeah.
Like
I literally when Jeffrey
I'm in.
when Jeff sent me that message, and I was like, so what minute mark? What minute
Give me
mark
the
is that?
timestamp.
I just need that. That's literally what I put. I go, what's the
Yeah.
timestamp on that part? I just
Yeah.
need that part.
But I mean-
Do they have that on YouTube? Can I just YouTube that one scene over and over again? I just
and this is one of those movies that kind of goes off the cuff of what I normally pick on these lists, because it's not the typical movie that I would be super into, but
Yeah.
I was.
And it is artsy. And
Yeah,
it's
like
pretentious.
Like
and-
it is that artsy. Like
Can't wait
but,
to watch it.
But I actually
It's gonna stay with me.
the fact that for 2 hours I was into this relationship and into watching this, I was like, you know what?
You cannot go wrong with really good writers. You just
Who would
can't.
have thunk it?
Yeah, you just got to get the writing right, and
It
then
would
you're
have
in.
just been better
What
if there
I-
would have been a weaponized Alexa that they were fighting
That-
over for custody.
you know,
that
based
wasn't
on
the ridiculous part of that movie, though.
Oh,
I keep
yeah,
going
sure.
back. That's not a ridiculous part. How many times
No,
have we
I know, no.
talked about like
No.
we say something
Yeah.
around our phones and our phones gives us ads? Is it really hard to believe that technology
No.
will get to the point where it could weaponize like our smart homes with all this shit could weaponize itself? Like
Your phone just said, "We're watching you. Shut up."
It's
yeah.
just hard to
Like,
believe.
that's not hard to believe. It's hard to believe that Case 2 is
Talented.
that.
what I really loved, I loved Scarlett Johansson. I loved Adam Driver's performance. Like the performances were great. What I also really enjoyed was fucking Laura Dern.
Oh, Laura Dern as the attorney. Yeah.
She's basically the same character that she plays on Big Little Lies, but that's not a bad thing. But she has this whole, for what stuck out for me with her performance, she has this whole like monologue about like the origin of like men and women's roles, like coming
Yeah.
based off like the Virgin Mary, and it's like it was like so enlightening to me, and I didn't really even like think about it that way until it was it she's so fucking great. I hope she wins the Oscar because she fucking is fantastic.
I want to watch it. I haven't.
I don't want to watch it. 'Cause
It's
I don't
cool.
want to see Adam Driver's
Oh,
face
God.
anymore.
I don't want to see his face either, but I've seen it like 8 times this year.
He
Yeah,
suffers.
that's-
Like in every fucking
That's because
movie.
you're like, oh shit, my finals tomorrow. I got to cram. Just chill, bitch. Like,
I don't like his
yeah,
stupid
like-
face.
But
I don't like his stupid face.
Alan
either.
Alda's in it. Ray
Yeah.
Liotta's in it.
so it's a good cast.
Oh,
It's
I
not just
love Ray
those two.
Liotta, dude. Ray Liotta's one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood.
He's not in it for very long, but his parts are
His
very
parts that
good.
he's in there. is-
Spoilers, bro.
He's so good. I
So is
love it.
Alan Alda, and Alan Alda's in it for like a few scenes.
Yeah.
but it's great.
Yeah.
His character too. But yeah, so
It's a
Marriage
great
Story. My rom com.
That's your number 8, right?
Yeah.
All right, my number 8 is hold on.
I feel like the only person I may have tables with is you.
Yeah, my number 8 is Glass.
Nice.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? Glass was awesome.
You didn't like Glass?
No.
Oh, I fucking love
You
Glass.
didn't like
I,
Aquaman either, so.
yeah, I
I
know,
didn't
that's
like
a
Aquaman.
No,
problem.
my wife didn't like.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh,
I did.
I thought it was okay.
I love Glass. I thought was Glass was
Yeah.
great. I thought
was awesome.
that it was yeah. I don't know. Why wouldn't you like Glass?
It's definitely, to me, it's not even in my radar for top 10. not even
Yeah.
top 20 of this year.
Oh, trust me. I'm sure there's gonna be a movie in there that again, there's a specific movie I'm thinking about that I think will make your list, and I'm just gonna be like, ugh. But
I know which one it is.
I love Glass. I thought Glass was great. I thought it was a great ending to a trilogy because it's linked together with
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable
and Split.
and Split. And I thought this was a great And the quote unquote twist at the end really did get me. I was like, oh, I didn't expect that at all. I didn't get that.
That was cool.
But I thought the movie was good. The acting was fantastic. The story was good. The action was fucking great.
Yeah.
It was great. Like I thought it was really well done. Really smart. I think I don't know what else to say about a movie that I can't say. I don't want to talk too much about it because of a twist.
Right.
I don't want to give away plot
Because it's
stories.
M. Night Shyamalan.
But the good M. Night, not
Stuart Little.
the devil.
So
M. Night.
does this guy have
That one you could see all the way coming.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong? Is his style psychological thrillers?
Always.
Yeah, always.
Everything.
Even the
Except for
bad movies?
Except for Lady in the Water. That was the only one that was.
I've never seen Lady in the Water.
It wasn't. It was a
Yeah, it was
psychological
weird.
thriller to myself because I had to sit through it. But it was not
I didn't care for The Village.
I-
I haven't seen any of these.
I love The
So
Village,
Village
but
was
it's
amazing.
definitely.
You haven't
Till
seen
the end.
Split or
I thought that
Unbreakable?
was
Not no,
great.
I haven't.
I couldn't. I didn't
Split
like
is fucking great. I got introduced to this trilogy through Split.
Yeah.
And of the three, that's my favorite, but I guess
Yeah.
it's because it's the first one I watched. I would make Glass number 2 and Unbreakable.
This is a
3.
very
To me,
difficult.
To me,
I don't know.
Split, Unbreakable, and then Glass.
I don't want to. I don't want to rank because I love these movies for their own. And like,
Yeah, they're-
Unbreakable to me is one of the most underrated
Yeah.
superhero
100%.
movies.
Do you think these movies, if you didn't know they were part of trilogies, like if
Well,
they're just standalone?
nobody knew Split was
Was
part
a-
of
yeah.
was a sequel
Unbreakable.
because it came out years upon years and they didn't announce it.
And they didn't mention.
And they didn't even mention even anything through the movie. They
Yeah,
didn't
it was
mention
the
it
last,
into
like,
the
1
very
minute. Yeah.
last minute of the
Yeah.
movie, and you go, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
But if you didn't know, like if Split and Unbreakable were independent and like there wasn't that last minute where they connected Bruce Willis's character, do you still think they'd be like good movies? Like, do you think the
Yes.
movies are good because?
Oh no!
they're-
Again, nobody knew
Yeah.
that these movies were connected, so I thought they were fucking
Split
great already.
on its own. I didn't.
so good.
I didn't.
I
need
fucking
that,
love
I
Split
didn't need
so
that
much.
reveal at the end.
Yeah.
Of Split. I
Yeah.
didn't. To
If they
me,
wouldn't have
if
had
would've
it-
cut off. At
yeah,
The,
it'd
oh,
still
the,
be
oh,
like-
the girl got out. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
I like Glass too. I thought that was a very good conclusion to the Split guy's character, and
James McAvoy.
yeah, he's so fucking talented. It's
No, that
stupid.
guy's-
It's
that guy-
absurd.
It's stupid how talented.
I
he
hope
is.
to God that he doesn't jerk off on plants.
Or with the mermaid statue.
Yeah.
But
No, he could do that all he wants. I don't give a fuck.
Sam Jackson's character, I guess he's meant to be like a caricature, or no?
Well, it's because he's the only one that legitimately believes himself to be a villain.
Right.
Gotcha.
Like his character
From the first movie.
From the first
So
movie,
he-
his character believes that he is a quote super villain.
Got it,
Like he's
got
like
it,
I'm the so he wants to live up to that super villain
because
title.
he believes that the superhero is the unbreakable Superman type.
Right,
character.
right,
So
got it.
because he's not that, he's automatically the villain.
So he wants to be because he believes himself because his character believes himself to be an actual super villain. I feel like he wants to live up to that moniker.
Got it.
So like he turns it up to 11.
I think the reason why I didn't like Glass as much is because I thought Split and Unbreakable were so much better.
Yeah, but I don't rate a movie because of that. Like I don't rate like just because one movie in a franchise is not as good as other movies in that same franchise doesn't mean that it's not that's not a great movie for that year. Like that, I'm not you know what I mean? Like I'm not.
Like God, well, like I look at it like Godfather.
Yeah, Godfather 3, I think standalone is a really good movie. I think Sophia's acting is atrocious. Sofia Coppola's acting is atrocious, but I think Godfather 3, I've said this for a decade, is a really good movie. It's just not good when you compare it to Godfather 1 and especially Godfather 2, which I think is the best one in the series. But I think a standalone, I like Godfather 3, but it's a far
Well, I think
from
that's
Godfather
the same way
2.
that I'm feeling with Glass. You're right. It's not right to compare them, but
I think
you
yeah.
can't.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you could,
yeah.
but
No, I get what you're saying. I definitely see somebody going. But to me, that's like when Stephanie last year goes like, "I'm only gonna have one superhero movie." I'm like, but did you think more of them deserve to be in your top 10? Like I don't. So to me, yes, you're right. Even let's say for the sake of argument, it's not. Again, I haven't ranked these three movies, the Split franchise or the Unbreakable franchise, however you want to call it. But even if I did think it was the lesser of all three, I'm like, but it was still a good movie though, right? Like it was still, like I don't know how to, I don't know. I
get what you're saying.
It's still a good. I thought it was still. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I really did. I thought that that twist I didn't see coming. But again, I'm a simpleton.
I that would have been a top 10 if the movie year
I'm a
ended
mental
like
evident.
in like the summer.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the year happens. But I really enjoyed
But then
it.
you
That
saw
movie came out like in
Cats.
March.
Yeah, I
That
know.
movie came out early as hell.
I keep a Like I just throw movies on there and then I rank them later.
I do too.
Okay.
Way to go, BFF.
All right. So that's
eight.
my number 8 is Glass. So the number 8s were Late Night, Untouchable, Marriage Story, and Glass. 7.
My number 7 is The Long Shot.
Wait, hold on.
Table.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. Well,
That's honorable mention for me.
that's my number 7 too, actually.
So Jeff, what's up, Jeff?
All right, another one that I know I'm the only one that saw.
You don't have to keep saying that. We're just
Actually-
gonna
No,
assume.
you saw Alita.
Yeah, so I was like, the only movie you've said that about, I actually
You're right.
did see.
You're right. Never mind. So this is. I usually am the only one that puts a horror movie on my list. This one's a quasi horror movie. It's called Ready or Not.
Here I come. You
so-
can't hide. Gonna find you.
Which is actually very appropriate for the theme of this movie.
Oh, really?
So the premise of this movie, and I highly recommend it to folks because it's not. When I say horror, it's categorized as horror because there's killers in it, but it's not really a horror movie.
So it's like slasher.
Yeah, it's more of a slasher.
Well, just because there's killers in it doesn't mean there's killers in fucking Avengers doesn't mean
Well,
that
you're
there's
right.
gonna
Well,
be fucking.
you're right.
there's not gonna
You're
be-
right.
You know, when you're right, you're right.
I want to put it in.
So the whole premise of this
Marriage
is
Story
this girl-
killed my senses by looking at fucking this guy's face the whole time. No, I'm kidding.
And continuing with my theme of dysfunctional wet marriages, the premise of this one is that a girl marries into this super wealthy family that made their money on gaming, board games, stuff like that.
Right.
Milton Bradley.
Yeah, it's like it literally is like a Milton Bradley family.
Their
So-
family's called the Bradley Miltons.
So on the wedding night, they
if I wrote a movie, I swear to
Dilton
God,
Bradley.
that's how I would be like, oh, they're like Milton Bradley. That's the name of the family, the Bradleys. Like I would be that fucking guy. Like I'm not trying to hide what the fuck I'm trying to say here.
I think for legal purposes, you might have to like.
No, that's it. That would be the legal purposes. You couldn't say Milton Bradley, but you could sure as hell say Bradley Miltons.
Yeah. So what happens is that on the wedding night, they have a tradition in the family that whoever's the newest member, they have to go to this room that they have in the house. They sit in a table and they have a box with cards of all different types of games: chess, checkers, hide and seek, and like some other games. And what happens is
Who's in this movie?
it's like random.
Oh,
random.
nobody,
There's
like-
super.
Random.
I think
Random fucking
actually
people.
one, the guy from the OC, Adrian Brody.
There's human lives
Oh,
here.
okay.
We're talking
Seth
about human.
Cohen?
We're talking about human beings.
yeah, is Adrian
Randomos,
Brody, is that his
randoms.
Not the one that was on Gotham.
Not Adrian Brody.
Adam Brody.
Or Adam Brody.
Adrian Brody is
is
Successful.
someone else. Someone else's
Damn.
face I hate. Shit, that was
Damn.
not really. Because when was the last time you heard about Adrian Brody?
I've heard his name. I don't know what the fuck. I didn't even know Adam Brody. Is that a brother?
no, Adam
just
Brody
happened
was
to
on
be-
the OC.
I don't mean brother. I mean, is he like Adrian Brody's actual
no, I don't
relative?
think so. I don't think so.
Andy McDowell's in it.
Oh,
She plays
okay.
the mom.
Okay.
So basically what happens is they go around the table and the girl draws her card, and of course she draws the hide and seek card.
Okay.
Which the hide and seek card is that the family has to hunt her, and she has to survive until the morning. And if she does, she's accepted into the family.
That's fucked up.
But other people like played chess, and they literally just played a game of chess, and they
Okay.
get accepted into the family. But she drew the one card that you don't want to draw.
Got it.
Also, in a lot of families, this would be the lesser of the
Yeah. No.
being accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can we just go through that one awful night and
Oh,
just
me?
be
And
accepted?
And I could just die at the end of it, and then have to put up with you
and I
guys for
don't
the
wanna
rest
put
of
up
my
with-
life.
Fuck, Jesus.
Yeah,
That sounds like actually pretty good way to go.
The main girl from it, she was in The Babysitter on Netflix, that other horror movie that came out like last year.
No, that was
Me and Kono see
the
that.
Babysitter Club.
No, The Babysitter. It was a
Babysitter
horror
Club,
movie.
No. You're I know there's another movie called is the one where she starts she becomes a madam.
No, this
Oh,
is
what
the
movie
one
is
where
this?
there's like
The Babysitter Club. I'm telling you.
No, The Babysitter's the one where like they're Satanist.
Oh no, not that one.
So, but it's the thing is what I love about this movie is that it's a cool concept, and then also the same thing is it's a comedy. So it's not just like your typical slasher thing. It is a straight up comedy because you've got these different family members that like you've got Adam Brody, who's like the guy that hates this tradition of his family, hates what they're doing. He's his wife got killed because she drew the game. She was the last one to draw that game, so he's against the whole thing. And then you've got like the daughter who's like a drug addict, and like so you have all those different like
dynamics, yeah.
those stereotypical like the rich snobs, and it's this
Like
girl
Knives
who's
Out.
and then it's this girl who's she's rocking like pink Converse while she's running in her wedding dress, running from
Got
these people,
it.
and it's just it's a fun movie. It's it is a slasher, but it's definitely one that I recommend because more so. There's other horror movies. I had the same issue this year with that. I wasn't a huge fan of Hereditary, and then Midsummer was this year.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't. It's an honorable mention.
I didn't see Midsummer because Dave told me not to, because he told me I wouldn't like it. I wanted to see it.
It's a very slow burn, and that pun intended. And it was
Florence Pugh is on it.
But
isn't it?
Ready or Not's a fun movie that you can sit there and watch, and it's good. It's actually entertaining. I think it's like an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like it's, which I know we don't go off Rotten Tomatoes, but just so you have an idea. But yeah, Ready or Not.
Cool.
That's my number.
Cool. I saw 3 horror movies this year, BFF.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of them's on my list.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I actually really liked all the horror movies I saw this year.
I'm curious to see what horror movie.
All 3 of them.
'Cause I don't have a horror movie on there. All right, Neri.
Hold on. I'm sending the movie The Babysitters from 2007 to the chat. Very good movie.
Got it, BFF.
Very good movie. Anyways, my number is yet another third streaming service original movie, The Highwayman. Is with
I never saw that. and I
Kevin
wanted to see it.
Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. It's the story of the cops, the marshals who caught Bonnie and Clyde. By caught, I
Caught is
mean
loose.
killed. Yeah,
I was going to say,
it's
didn't they
loosely
die? I was
based on
gonna
the
say,
word
didn't
caught.
they die?
A bloody death. Here's what made this.
All their bullets cut.
Yeah. They caught some bullets in their faces.
I've never even heard of this movie.
So it's The Highwayman. The acting, this is the first movie on my list that the acting is superb.
Yeah?
It's flat out. It's Kevin Costner.
They're
and-
both great actors.
I mean, I believe this is, I don't remember seeing Kevin Costner in a movie where I was like, this, like, it's made, like, he's so fucking good. And Woody Harrelson is a fantastic actor, and I believe, to my recent knowledge, to my recollection, this is the best I've ever seen Woody Harrelson, which is saying a lot because I like Woody Harrelson
Did
a
you
lot.
see the first season of True Detective?
I did see the first. This is on par with the first
Okay.
season of True Detective for Woody Harrelson. This is that good of acting. It's so fucking good. Superb acting.
Natural Born Killers?
On top, superb acting. But here's what I love about this movie, because whenever there's a, based on a true story, whatever, blah, I'm that guy that just
Right.
pulls my phone out. I've almost become a caricature of the gif from Fry from Futurama where he starts squinting like, we'll see about that, and I just start fact checking fucking movies. Even though I'm not that guy that goes, oh, this is bullshit. I just want to know how close the movie came. I know there's
Right.
gonna be, loosely based, or I don't know. I know they're gonna take liberties, some shit,
Right.
but I just want to see how close they came. Like that's all I want to see. So I started reading up on the actual story of these guys, and the only I don't want to say major, but the only difference in real life, what happened from this movie in real life, is that in real life it was like 5 marshals, and then the movie they cumulated their characters into 2. But these characters these people really did exist. These human beings really did exist, and it was
Based on a novel by Push.
yeah, by Sapphire. But so it was very, it was an excellent movie. And then what I was really happy to read is that the people the families of the people who are portrayed by Woody Harrelson, and if you ever watched the movie Bonnie and Clyde, the Warren Beatty, it glorifies Bonnie and Clyde.
I mean, yeah.
It makes it the heroes.
And they make them the heroes that were like, and on top of that, because it's Hollywood, I kind of understood that. But on top of that, it makes, if you watch the Bonnie and Clyde version, it makes the cops that got him like look like idiots, like bumbling fools.
Right.
And so the family was never like, their family sued Warner Brothers over that depiction, and they won. They settled out of court, which means fucking they won. And the family was very worried that the same thing was going to happen. And he got a letter. Kevin Costner got a letter afterwards, thanking from the grandkids, saying, "This is the grandfather that I was always raised with. You." It felt like you were my grandfather. Like, wow, I felt like watching my grandfather.
Wow,
It was
that's
really,
nice.
really, and it was an actual letter. He said that. He was like, it was an actual letter. It wasn't like a fucking email it was an actual letter. But I just, watching this movie, it's the first superb acting that's on my list. It's just that level of like, wow, it's really good. I was disappointed. Like, I saw this, I honestly saw it. I pressed play because I thought it was going to be a series. And so I'm like, oh, I'll just watch the first episode. And then like an hour in, I'm like, how long is this fucking episode? And then I was like, oh, this is a movie. It's a one-off. Oh, all right. And then, but it was really good.
Wow, they're already catching Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah.
That was fast.
But
What are we going to do the rest of the time?
It was really fucking good. Like, I thought it was fantastic. I just
I had
loved-
no idea this even existed.
Yeah, no, and again, I talked to Jeff about it a few months ago, and he goes, oh, I thought it was a show. Like, I thought it was a series. I go, no, it's a one-off. It's a movie. I tweeted about it. I was like, why is nobody talking about this? This is really fucking good. And when I found out that all these other Netflix original movies got nominated, not to say anything that they weren't deserved or anything, I was disappointed that this one didn't get anything, because I was like, man, this is really good. And it was, I don't know what else. I don't know what else I can say other than it was really fucking good. And the story really interests me, because any one of those like gangster, this is a gangster movie without it being a gangster movie. It does not glorify what they're doing at all. Like it goes out of the way, because they were super popular. Those Bonnie and Clyde in the mainstream, like in the newspapers, they would come, like they would be like, oh, they struck again, and people would cheer them on. They thought they were the American public thought they were heroes, because it was during a time of the Great Depression where so many people were suffering. They're like, yeah, they're sticking it to the man. It's like, no, they're killing people.
Yeah.
These are people that have, like, they're killing, like, anybody who comes in their way. They're fucking killing people. This is an actual thing. Like, those people had lives, and they go out of their way. The movie goes out of its way to say the cops that they're killing, they're just doing their job. And if they have I don't want to say a traffic stop. They have a traffic stop where they're checking to see
A checkpoint.
Those cops are just doing their jobs, and they're being murdered. They had families. They had families that were depending on that check to come in, and now those families are fucking living in tents, and it's a whole thing. So it was great, man. It's fantastic. So The Highwayman, Netflix.
Cool.
I wanted to watch it, but I didn't.
Zero fucks 2020. That's what you're saying when you're like, I wanted to watch it, but I don't give a fuck. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying that I don't care you didn't watch it. I was saying that you didn't care.
It's okay. I speak you.
So is it number 7?
Yeah.
Number 7 is Long Shot, Ready or Not, Long Shot, and The Highwayman. Men, plural. Sorry. All right, so number 6 is, and this would be the last pick for this episode, because we're splitting it up in between episodes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we're doing great time.
Yeah, we're like under an hour and a half.
Hour and 23. All right, so number 6, Messi.
Endgame.
Oh, that's also my number 6.
Table.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode.
Tune in next week.
And number 6 for Missy's.
My number 6 also Endgame.
Endgame. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I meant by that's also my number 6.
Mine's gonna get table 2. So these number 6 picks are gonna be super fast. I know for a fact you're tabling this one, unless you disappoint me. I'm pointing at Missy.
I mean, I've been doing that pretty consistently.
I love the pressure
I
that
know
he puts
what
you on.
movie this
I know
is.
for a fact, unless you disappoint me. Like, wow,
I know what
Dad.
movie this is.
Jesus. All right, so Jeff, number 6.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, I thought it was going to be something else. Never mind.
No?
Yeah, that's a table.
Okay.
Okay.
She's so disappointed that it's a
Now
table.
I don't
She's
even
like,
want it on my
fuck, I
fucking
wish
list.
it wasn't a
Yeah,
fucking table, you
Jesus.
motherfucker. And Hollywood.
Love you, Missy.
Yeah.
I love this movie, by the way.
Ditto. Or no, wait, I know.
All right, so I was gonna be like, and what's your number 6, Neri? Let's see here. My number 6 is I love. It's gonna be tabled. I love the fact that this is the way spelled autocorrect put it on my notes in my phone, but I'm just gonna read it the way it auto spell decided to. The fail popes. Swear to God, FEO, like it fucking. I swear to God, and literally, I wrote the 2 popes, and spell check was like, you must mean fail popes, and I didn't realize that happened until we started recording, and I was like, that's hilarious. That's the spell check. That's the autocorrect. So the fail popes is my number.
Table.
Yeah, table.
Well, thanks for listening, guys.
That was the great. Number 6 is.
So our number 6 were
We're making great time. Even better now.
Avengers Endgame, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and the Fail Popes.
The new name.
You know that some listeners are gonna be like,
Hell, Popes, what the fuck?
Why are you typing with one finger?
Yeah,
like
that's
you're
how we type. We
fucking
type.
16?
I type the same way. I'm like,
Okay,
all right, here I go.
okay, boomer.
That's I'm fine with that. So, anyways, for the English-speaking listeners, feo, F-E-O, in Spanish, it translates ugly. So it's hilarious that spell check was like, you mean the ugly popes? I'm like, well, they're not good looking. They're not wrong.
You didn't have to go there. Autocorrect.
Damn, autocorrect. That sends no fucking lies, man. You gotta be a dick about it. So that's our bottom 5, 10 through 6. We're gonna wrap this episode up so that we can split it in between 2 episodes, because if not, it'd be one 3-hour episode. So thank you guys for checking us out. I hope you guys have watched some of these movies. Maybe you haven't watched some of these movies, and we've enticed you into watching some of these movies. So thank you for checking us out. Make sure to check out the next episode, which we are going to continue recording now, but it won't come out for the following week for you guys, just to be able to give you guys some time to watch these movies. Thank you for checking us out. Check out Stephanie's event planning business at
MiamiEventsByYou.com.
Miami Events by You, the letter U.
Yeah.
Miami Events by the letter U.com. And on Instagram, she is events_by_you, the letter U.
Mm-hmm.
As if you were saying University of Miami, but not something shitty and overrated. This is actually something good and talented.
Thank you,
So
BFF.
events_by_you on Instagram, and MiamiEventsByYou.com. And Missy's writing at Missy Writer.
MissyWrites.com.
Right.
I'm Missy the Writer on other platforms, including TikTok, but I haven't made a video yet.
I have one video on TikTok, and it's of my dog howling.
Yep.
So enjoy
So cute.
that. And then my comedy is at naryscience.com or whatwashisname.com. If you're going to follow me on anything, I'm trying to grow my Instagram more so than anything else. So make sure you check it there. And now, thanks to Instagram TV or IGTV, I can post my full-length videos on there. So make sure you guys check that out at naryscience.com or whatwashisname.com. And that's how the last top 10 of the top 10 movies of the year are done. Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk about movies, TV, geek stuff, news, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker.